Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to That Game Place, the place where we discuss what's going on in the gaming industry, whether it be a story from an individual studio or a story about an individual creator, or even an individual game, or some kind of major error, or perhaps the hidden abuse of your memory and your kernel, because, we just feel like getting in your business and running your memory into the ground while you play one of our games. And that's rumored to be going on with Ubisoft and with Assassin's Creed Shadows. If you didn't have enough reasons to hate that game, there's a few for you. But we aren't going to talk about that. We've got some pre-planned and readied stories. But first, I got to introduce the team today. We've got more on the way, but in fact, 2 more on the way. But we've got a full panel of 4 to start with. And these are my pals, my friend, my team with Marvin the Movie Monster, Frank over there at That Park Place, and of course, the amazing, the man of mystery, Stone Cold Loki. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all doing today?
Doing well, Culture, doing well. Just beat Breath of the Wild for the second time ever. Lapped my wife. She's been playing it for a year, and I managed to just run through the game.
Breath of the Wild is one of those that's just super fun beginning to end. I don't think there's any downside to replaying that, but that's just my opinion. Anybody else got any recent gaming fun they've accomplished?
State of Decay 2 finally finished.
Yeah.
So they finally cut that offline. I went back and played that for a while. I can't imagine what the third one's going to be like. We're not going to talk about that today. I know that.
Frank, any recent games, that you've played or that you're enjoying at the moment?
Well, I finished Indiana Jones finally, and I've gotten myself into going back to games because I'm so tired of the situation. So I've been playing a lot of Chinese games, surprisingly enough. Wandering Sword, it's like a pixel art RPG wuxia game. It's kind of like, it reminded me a lot of like the JRPG in the past, but with different battle system. And I'm looking forward to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I've been given a gift for so I'm looking forward to that game. Otherwise, no, I'm writing a lot. There's so many news I need to keep track on, so I can't finish. I have a backlog of games that I haven't finished, including Stalker 2.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, Frank's a brand new addition over there on That Park Place, writing a bunch of great gaming articles. In fact, he's the one that may have reversed my position on Great Circle, but we'll see. We'll see. I may or may not throw some money at it, but seems to me there's still a lot of stuff in that game that would be offensive to me or irritating to me. But I would agree with you, Frank. I think the marketing was a real problem. We actually did your story here, I believe, last week. So, but let's jump into this. This is a story from the boss himself, editor-in-chief at That Park Place. Marvin, you're going to lead us through this down the primrose path. We're going to talk a little bit about players overwhelmingly vote to keep RPG game character genders, male and female, in online poll from Lords of the Fallen developer. Now, I've got to ask, Marvin, was this in any way in doubt?
What do you mean?
I mean, there's only 2 kinds of players you can have, male and female.
Well, not if you ask certain people. I mean, so here's the thing. Lords of the Fallen was kind of infamous because instead of doing male and female character selection, you did body type A and body type B. Now, this is typically done in a way so that you'd be able to maybe have a more masculine body, but not have it be considered a man. I can, 3 guesses as to why you'd want to do that. So Lords of the Fallen developer put up a poll. And they were Marek Tyminski was basically like, and you'll see as you scroll down into the thing here, he said, in a medieval fantasy action RPG experience, what do you prefer to choose between? We will follow the final result. It was body type A, B, male or female, or none of the above. And Culture, the results speak for themselves.
Oh, really? What are they? Since I haven't played on this poll yet.
Well, scroll down a little bit and you'll see. We have it in a image coming right up.
I voted.
Yep, so did I. Male or female took 88% of a vote, and I believe as of when we wrote the article, it was 46,791 people voted. So it's not like 100 people voted and it got 88 of those. No, this was almost 47,000 people voted. And it's overwhelming. People don't want gender nonsense in their games. They just want male and female.
Yeah, and again, it just points out what we've been saying forever. The modernity does not translate into gaming, film, or television. It just doesn't. Unless you're very specifically writing a story around this garbage, nobody wants it. 88% of people are choosing, reality, science, the world around them, rather than the make believe that people seem to want to suggest that is out there for everybody to play around it. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You got to look at game developers like a pyramid. It really is almost like a pyramid scheme. You have the top. You've got EA, you've got Ubisoft, you've got the big companies that are at the top that are all working together to promote this garbage, right? And then you've got the studios below them, you've got the studios below them. There are going to be the lower studios that go, you know what? We're not going to play this game. We're not all going to work together, which is what they have been pushing, not just here in the States, but in Japan as well. We know that. We know China's not going to have anything to do with it. They're just going to do what they want to do. Korea's not going to have anything to do with it. They're just going to do what they want to do. It's mainly been in the US and in Japan that we've seen this thing go, oh, you have to do this. If you want your game to come out, you've got to do this thing. Well, there's going to be studios below them that are going to be like, no, we don't. And we may see them rise. We may see them move up in the echelons because they won't. We may see, like Ubisoft, you mentioned, they're about to go bankrupt. They've got big problems. You might see some studios fall from grace because they just can't get the hint. We don't want any of this garbage. It is a trash fire out there in the industry, and they're going, we don't see anything. Nothing's wrong. Situation normal. Everything's fine. Buy our stuff.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, there was no greater proof of. I mean, look, even without this poll, Dragon Age: The Veilguard was definitive proof that people don't want this in their games. That game was the definition of failure. Depending on how Mass Effect goes, it may be the death blow to BioWare, one of the historically greatest RPG studios that ever existed. People just want to play as a guy or a girl and go through and have a fun experience. Frank, am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong, and I think a lot of people are actually really tired of this gender dysphoria situation that's happening all the time. Because the thing is, people will accept it in the beginning without any problems at all, because people do understand that there are trans people. But when it's pushed down your throat, which has been done for now, I think almost 7 years or even longer for some people. I remember back in 2015 when we were working on film, we kind of joked about political correctness, and now it's become an ideology that you need to adhere to. And so people are tired of this, and this is obviously a response to that. It's not to be offensive. It's just no, stop pandering, stop pushing this. We don't want to hear it. I mean, J.K. Rowling is a perfect example of how they really attack and say horrible things to people who just say basic biology. There's two genders, there's two sexes. Don't be offended about that. We're not saying that you need to live in a certain way. It's just, people are tired.
I think it's a thing of look, nobody's trying to tell you how to live your life. Nobody cares how you live your life. You just can't demand someone's participation.
Yeah.
No one wants to be lectured to. That's the last thing gamers want, is to feel like they're in a class or they're being lectured to in a class.
Well,
we don't want it. We just want to have fun and enjoy ourselves.
But we say it all the time. Look, what is gaming but escapism? And it makes it impossible to escape. Sorry, Culture, I cut you.
No, you beat me to it. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's it's what TV and film and games are all about. It's to get away from this modernity garbage, the real world around you, and instead of shoving it in there. I mean, if you want to live as a forest nymph or whatnot in a game, all power to you, right? If that option's available. But the nobody wants anything that's just shoved at them. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. We've got a whole generation of gamers that they're just tired of it, as Frank said. So we're not paying for it anymore. We have a backlog of games. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I have to give it to CI Games for doing this, because they did body type A and body type B, and so now they're like, hey guys, what do you want?
No.
and we're going to go by what you want because you're our audience. I think a lot of people, in the face of this, were just kind of like too little, too late. But I'm not one of those people. I think that it's perfectly fine, for folks to change their minds to become, quote unquote, based or eat. You know what? And even if they're just chasing the money, I don't fault them for that. Just give us what we want. Give us good quality things. And I don't care why you're doing it. Just give it.
That's true. Yeah, and look, I mean, we can probably beat this to death, and I don't really want to. We've got a number of stories to get to today, but this is just part and parcel of what the change is and the change that's in the air. I don't think anybody here can disagree with the fact that we all want to return to normal. We want to get out of this politically driven, mess that we've all been put into. Am I wrong? Am I off base? What do you think?
No, absolutely. I just wanted to chime in one thing
Sure,
because
please.
there is a game that clearly showed that they did it correctly and they showed how it should be done. That was Baldur's Gate 3. But the thing that I think is so ironic is that many of these, let's say, ideologically driven people are now using that game as an example. Oh, look, this game is super woke. This is how. But the thing is, no, the game is pushing on the fantasy that people want to choose. And when they did this poll, what kind of character was most played, they found out it was mostly human, male, and white. And it was a little bit interesting that you could play all these different races and everything, and it still goes down to, okay, we like to be more human, male or woman, than anything else. And my biggest issue with that game was that it felt like everyone wanted to have sex with me, and that was a bit weird. But again, as you say, people are just tired. They want the choice for everything, but not having it force fed through, like with the quest with Veilguard. What was it? Taking a barb. What was it again? Like, oh, if you missed,
Gosh.
like where she took a push up or something. If you misgendered her, and then you say, I'm taking a barb. Or, I'm taking a
barb.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it
was so weird.
Push-ups as recompense.
That is something that has never happened in real life. That's why you can't connect to it. It's impossible. There's this wonderful sentence we have in movie making, which is called suspension of disbelief. Magic, it doesn't exist, but we can make audience believe it if you present it in film in a very believable manner. That scene in Veilguard, that was destroying everything about suspension of disbelief. Even though something like that is possible in this world, it felt so cringe and wrong and completely abnormal and
out of place in a medieval RPG setting, right? Culture?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the other thing is it's just the setting. The setting of these games are very specific. The building of these worlds has already been done. Trying to craft something new within that isn't compatible with the existing vision for a game or something like that is just it's offensive to the player, the fan of the game. And this has been happening for a very long time now. And I think to be honest, that gamers are so driven away from this now that we literally have to solicit others, what their opinion is of a game they just started playing or what the expectations are, or we have to parse everything that's coming out in a game trailer or any of the people that are involved in the game because largely we can't trust it. We can't trust them. And that's a real shame. We need to be able to start trusting the game producers again, the game studios, and the devs that are involved. And I don't know. I mean, as Frank pointed out, I mean, you've got to get back to the ability to suspend disbelief and be removed from modernity, the daily life. Anyway, we have gone for a bit on this particular subject. I think we are going to head out to see what you guys have to say. Lots of wonderful commentary out there. I would say thank you to those of you who've contributed financially from the very beginning. We've got Ruby Who for a $2 super sticker, a little Sheba dog waving, farting hearts. Love that. Thank you, Ruby Who. We've got Butterbiscuit 92 for $5 and quarters. That's right. We are ready to play our games. Not to be offensive, but what's the plan going forward? Promised live streams 6 months ago, and there haven't been any videos for almost a month. We've been trying. There are videos produced. Not sure. We'll be getting some more stuff together for sure, but we will be playing live very, very soon because I think I figured out Discord again. which means I can actually play through Discord, which is the only way I think I'm going to be able to make it happen, at least from my side.
We need to set a live stream.
We do.
I think to set our first gaming live stream date.
When are we going to do Mario Kart, Smash Brothers? Let's get it on.
I think it's easiest to start with Mario Kart. So this is a good question. It's not offensive at all, and it's well called out. But no, we will be. Well, of course, December was a issue with the holidays. We were all trying to live within a frame that really wasn't available to any of us. But no, I'm thinking that I think that by the end of this month, we will have at least tried to play Mario Kart. I think our only live stream that we've ever done on this has been a very funny moment where Jonas was trying to play that Star Wars game, if I remember.
Yes.
Very, very bad.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, we'll try to get there. So yes, please be aware. We do want to compete with each other, and maybe eventually y'all, once we introduce the idea of memberships. But yeah,
it's gonna get nasty. Just to warn you.
We might say some bad words too. I mean, it might be the only time you hear bad words on this channel.
It's going to get competitive.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are fancy ourselves decent Mario Kart players, and then of course there's a lot of combat games we have definitely got to play. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and if we ever play Overcooked, it's going to get really, really loud.
What's that? What's the one Chained Together where like you somebody makes the wrong step and falls off and takes everybody with them? Is that right? Yeah. That's definitely going to be a fun game for this.
That would be really frustrating. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, anyway, and as the team grows here at that game place, the games are going to have to grow. So maybe we got to go to COD, maybe other things like that. I know there's a lot of fans out there that play a lot of different games. It'll be fun to watch, Spencer, fall from a rooftop or something. Anyway. I'm kidding, Spencer. He's on his way. We've got Jacob Foxfires out there. He's of the 964th Street for $5 with a quarters, saying, I want to go back on what I said last time with GTA 6. As a Call of Duty 6 player, base went down by 80% since launch. COD is losing the normies. They are. And so is Rainbow Six.
When you handcuff your audience and you start telling them what they can and can't do, or what we won't find acceptable, or we'll take your game away if you say a naughty word.
Oh yeah, Square
you
Enix.
Don't own it. Yeah, oh boy, let me tell you that tends to drive customers away, but do so on your own peril.
Can I ask, what was it he said about GTA 6? Sorry if I interrupted you. But what is it? I want to go back on what I said last time. What is it he said about GTA 6? Just for context for me, because I'm a little bit unsure. If you remember.
I don't recall.
Oh, okay.
I do not have that kind of retention. At my age, I'm lucky to remember my name or like how to dial my phone. But no, I would imagine that it had something to say about with GTA. We talked rather negatively about the future of that game because it might be tinged by some political stuff that gamers won't enjoy. And we also dove into the idea of GTA 5 having such a large player base for the online. GTA Online. I think that's more of what he's referring to here. So
if they mess that up, and it will be. Part of it will be the story, but there'll be plenty of people that sign up just to play the online, whatever it is, that don't care about the story. They have to nail both of them. So you've got to nail the story. It's got to be a great story. You can't have none of this crap in it that you've seen, and the online has to be good. Otherwise, this is a drop in the bucket compared to what they just did with 5. It's got to be a home run in every aspect.
Yeah, can I chime in on one thing? Because GTA 6 is very close to my heart because Marvin knows this. I wrote an article about GTA 6. It was probably my first or second article. And I was supposed to write this article defending Rockstar because Rockstar is one of the 2 current game companies that have not disappointed me. But when I researched about GTA 6, because it was actually somebody, I'm not going to go into too much, but somebody who I know very well, who told me to check certain things out. But we were talking about this loss of talent in video game development. So I started researching, and when I found out what I found out, if you read the article, kind of broke me. Like, for now, Rockstar has not disappointed me with any of their games, none of them. And I still hope it's going to be good, GTA 6. But as you mentioned about the GTA Online feature, I think that is cooked. I honestly think it's cooked. And the reason why I think it's gone, unlike the GTA 6 single player, which I still hope is going to be good, is because all of the recent employees that have come in around 2021, 2022 are going to work on GTA Online. And many of these employees have the certificate that says unconscious bias and DIB, the certificate of DIB, which stands for diversity, inclusivity, and I don't remember what B stands for.
Belonging.
Yeah, belonging. Yeah, belonging. And it really shows that there is something spreading, because when all of the writers and the big creators of Red Dead Redemption 1, Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 5, GTA 4, San Andreas, Vice City, all of them left around the same time these certificates were implemented. Yeah, that tells me everything. And I really hope that they're still going to go from the treatment of Dan Houser, who to me is perhaps he's to me one of the greatest game producers of all time. He should be up there along with Hideo Kojima when it comes to storytelling, because this guy wrote everything.
Yeah.
Like, he wrote all of it.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
But his treatment, which I have it on good source, is still the Bonnie and Clyde treatment, based on Bonnie and Clyde from War and Beauty and True Romance, that was directed by Tony Scott.
Right.
If they follow that treatment, and if you've seen those films, you might get pleasantly surprised. But he's not there anymore. So we got to see. Like, yeah. I mean, it's going to earn money, obviously, because it's GTA. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really scared about this game, because I really love Rockstar games.
You gotta look at the executive shift between the video game industry and Hollywood.
Yeah.
The movie industry, they moved in these executives to make it easier for them to do deals with Hollywood. I can reach out, I know them. Oh, I can call Bruce Willis, I know him. Oh, I can call this person, he had voice cast. They started moving around their executives in these companies and bringing in Hollywood executives. Why do you bring in Hollywood executives? So it makes it easy for us to contact with Hollywood and work with Hollywood. And then you start to see these people that have been in this business for a generation that are gone. They're gone and replaced by someone from California, from Hollywood, that has their own agenda, their own ideas, and they start pushing all of this stuff that wasn't needed in the first place, and you get the problem we're in now.
And it's this mentality where these new writers come in and they read, for example, they need to adapt something, like what they did with the Witcher TV show. They read the books and they say, I can write better than this. Or the Rings of Power, they read Tolkien and go like, no, I can do better than this. And of course you can.
They actively hate the source material, and it's very obvious.
Yep.
And why are they hired? Like, why?
Well, that's why we're gonna have Ciri as a Witcher. If you've seen that trailer, you're just like, oh, I can't believe this. Go look at Rebel Wolf's new trailer.
I saw
their new game.
Looks really good.
It's on my list of things to look at once we're off the stream.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Dawnwalker, Dawnblood. It looked awesome. I'm like, take my money. I never feel like that anymore, where I'm just like, take my money. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot of good games on the horizon and a lot of bad ones. And I would be remiss if I didn't say hello to Jonas, who I just pulled in.
Hi.
How you doing, Jonas?
I came in and I'm noticing that my name is in the chat a few times there. So
Yeah, and Spencer's on his way. But here, since you're the official reader of all things Super Chat.
Sure. Let's see here. Butterbiscuit 92 for $5. Also, I hope everyone can get gaming PCs. Would love to see you all 4-player emulation GameCube and 64 games. Can always use locals to avoid copyright.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
I have never done anything past the 16-bit era on emulation on a PC or a Mac in this case.
Well, there you go.
I should probably switch to the next one here. Jacob Foxfires for $5. I can confidently say there are games that are guaranteed success. The problems of the industry have hit the normies, which makes me curious. about GTA 6. This is one that's kind of we're all of different opinions on it, I think, on the panel here. I'm not a GTA 6 fan, so I'm not a GTA fan in general. So I don't know, but if it's woke, I think it's going to be a disaster, but not until after the initial sales bump.
Yeah, I think the $1 billion pre-sale numbers that we reported last week, if those are really authentic, if we can believe that is happening, then I agree with you. I think they're going to have a great off to the races start. But as again, if the word of mouth is bad, gentlemen, do you think I don't think there'll be a lot of extra sold in that case?
I still think there will. Again, like it's GTA. That this is not something that will fail. Like Marvin said last week, we're gonna have to. The real indicator here is going to be what happens when this game comes out, and then what happens with GTA 7.
If
Spencer.
I would the only counter I would make to that is compared to GTA 5.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I would say is if you're measuring it as success between GTA 5 and GTA 6, GTA 6 has to hit a home run to do all the things that GTA 5 did. That's
it doesn't just have not even just a home run, man. It needs to single-handedly like win the pennant.
Well, go ahead, Frank.
You were actually pointing this out, and I also saw in the comment somebody says like it's not the immediate success of GTA 6 that's secured, that's 100% secured. It's the long term.
Yes.
And if you see another game that did have the same situation, kinda was Last of Us 2. It did sell immensely in the beginning because everyone was expecting it. I too wanted to play it, but then you look at the sales afterwards, in the same time that Last of Us 1 came out, it did not sell the same amount. And another example is Spider-Man 1 and 2. Spider-Man 1 sold 20 million copies. Spider-Man 2 has sold less than, it has sold 46 or 48% less than Spider-Man 1. This is a long-term effect because even though Spider-Man 2 is still a good game, it wasn't a great game. And story-wise, I think it was oddly paced with the second act. People like gamers noticed this. Last of Us 2 was also the same exact reason. So it is about the long term. Do I think GTA 6 is gonna long termly do the same success as GTA 5? If it comes to online, I honestly don't think so. No.
Well, see, okay. First off, Frank, nice to meet you. Been reading your work. Awesome to finally meet you. But while you're not wrong about the long-term receptions for that game, I think putting those up as a comparison for GTA doesn't work for the exact reason you just touched on there. Those games didn't have a really extensive, deep online ecosystem. Like GTA Online, that thing is a disgusting moneymaker. And so as long as they go, I think either Marvin or Coulter said it last week, as long as they make some component like, oh, here's GTA Online and you can get better graphics if you play it through 6 instead of 5, that's going to right there. That maybe not the sales like of 5 that Loki was saying, but I don't see this game failing by any of the metrics we would like to see, which is unfortunate. I'm with Marvin where once the reception for this game comes out, it's going to be really important to see the reception for the next game. Because in 7, that's when everybody will go, we learned our lesson. We got really burned by 6 when we all bought in right away. Now this time we're going to wait.
Spencer, how do you remember things from last week? You and I have essentially the same job, and I can't remember things from yesterday.
It's because I want to make sure that I properly source everybody. So, like, I don't want somebody going, "Oh, Marvin, did you see that Spencer was taking your theory on that gameplay?" It's like, no, I want to make sure all my buddies get their proper due.
Right. There's one metric at which GTA 6 can fail. Love you too, Spencer. Although I think that maybe was directed at Marvin there.
That's directed at everybody here, even Frank.
Yep. I think there is one metric at which GTA 6 can fail. It is that this is a game that has probably cost as close to $1 billion as you can get for a game. You're saying $2 billion, Frank? I would believe it, considering the development time and the massive size of a game like this, and the idea that it is too big to fail. They might spend so much money sure of success that they can't hit those numbers.
That's a good point.
That's going to be the area where, like we say, Disney is not in the movie business to make money, which is so bizarre over there.
How much money went into GTA 5? I'm not just talking about the first release on Xbox 360, but like the release on Xbox and the release on PC, and how much money did they spend developing all that?
What?
And how much money did they make? Well, if they only spent like, $100 million and they've spent $2 billion this time, they've got a lot to make up for to make the kind of money that they made with GTA 5.
Yeah,
it's just that simple. They have got to. This has to be the all-star knockout biggest event ever and continue to sell. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just
realized that
I need to
we
cut us
were on
off.
one super chat for a very long time. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jacob Foxfire's got the money's worth off that $5.
Yeah, we got a few more we need to get to, and then we then I'm going to throw the leaderboard up as soon as Jonas is done with that, and then we got to move to the next subject. We are way behind.
Radial Drago for £5. Never mind Mario Kart. I suggest you play Dustborn.
As an Italian Norwegian myself, and as a Norwegian, I hate that game, and I am writing an article about it because I had to play that game when I'm going to write that game.
You can't hate it. That's part of your national heritage now. Like, that goes down in the history book.
That's your official
My
holiday.
tax dollars went to make that game horrible.
That multinational gift right there.
We are the refugees.
Jacob Foxfires for 10. For context, I had said while I think GTA 6 will have a big opening, I question the long run and how they keep retention. Now I can't confidently say it could open to an instant success. There was a rumor out there that they're going to pull a crying game on this,
Yes.
that you're going to find out towards the end of the game that someone important to the story is trans, which is going to be the kind of thing that will hit the internet very quickly.
Mhm.
So if you have the reactionaries out there, and I'm not saying they're reacting badly or they're reacting for poor reasons, but if you have the reactionaries out there that hear about that, that's going to turn GTA 6 into a cultural totem, like Veilguard. So that's not going to be good for sales long term. Anybody?
Well,
No.
the one thing I heard is that Lucia has a child, so that theory
Right.
rumor is a bit weird. So
Okay, but that doesn't mean that they had a child when they were this gender instead of that gender. Where
Yeah, it doesn't mean the
whatever
kid
you
came
roll.
out of her.
That's
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
Honestly, I think the
What a
story.
wonderful world we live in.
Honestly, I think the story has been written and they have to adhere to it. But the difference between like film and game is that film they can change. Now you're gonna see films that are different. You're gonna see films that, you weren't allowed to make them before, but now you can. When after a certain election just happened, games still have at least a year or two of releases where you're going to see this kind of slop like Dustborn and Veilguard coming out. Sorry if I used the word slop, but
It's true, though.
because it takes 5 years to make a game nowadays. It takes so long. So the process has already started way back, but the release comes 5 years later.
Mhm.
So we can't see that. With GTA 6, it depends on how much of this ideology was ingrained from the beginning. I still hope Dan Houser was in control of the story. In that case, we're safe because he has not, at least for me, disappointed for now. And he did talk about making a female character back in 2013 and 2012 when he was an open panel or something, if the story was right.
I mean,
And
GTA 2 had playable women, so
That's right.
Yeah, but I'm talking about single player. I'm talking about the story, not like.
wouldn't
This
that-
was-
yes,
that was
GTA 2
the
was
other
single
story.
player.
Yeah. You're right.
Because you could
Wouldn't
pick
that
who you
be a
wanted to
true
be.
Caitlyn Jenner moment right there? You know, like her getting the ESPY award for female of the year or whatever it was.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm not being careful about using correct or incorrect pronouns, but turns out even the best women are men according to the ESPY awards, right? So GTA gets a female protagonist, and if they pull that, well, then doesn't mean that the joke was on them all along. Daryl the Derelict for $5. I'm going to coin a new acronym. Entertainment is escapism. If game companies won't do it, we'll make it ourselves. Rock on, gentlemen. And yeah, that's the rock on symbol right there.
It's pretty good.
Yep. By the way, Nolan's in the chat, and
Nolan.
he was telling me that.
What
he
up,
was a learn
Spencer?
Bumda.
He's telling me I need to learn about Dolphin. Tennille 89 for 2. Lies and heresy last week is a myth.
It is.
Araxis. Hey, Araxis joined us over
Araxis,
here
yeah.
for $2. Look forward to the day I can gift subs. When will that day come?
I don't know, Jonas. We need to trickle over 5K, right? Is that where we're going?
Is that where we're going? We
don't know.
should talk about that.
Yeah,
What-
we do need to talk
Okay.
about that.
I did see this one here before in Butter Biscuit. Yeah, I know. We're just trying to. Sometimes we got to take it slow. We got to run so we can walk. Walk so we can run.
Slow ride.
That's right. Jacob Foxfires for 10. The issue, Spencer, is that this was before I learned of COD 6 and how that had lost 80% of players since launch. I don't think there can be guaranteed success anymore for the gaming industry.
Well, I also want to push back against that headline that's going around because it's a little out of pocket, because that's kind of just what happens to all multiplayer games, right? Everything is going to launch to crazy numbers. And then once you get a year or two out from launch, all of those are going to dwindle to only the, more hardcore players. These players are still going to Fortnite or Warzone. So yeah, no, that's the main sales of that game are still incredible. Go check those out. And yeah, GTA Online is a different ecosystem than Call of Duty Online, because Call of Duty Online is just the multiplayer matches. In GTA, there's a lot. People make their own communities, their own role-playing things. It goes way more expansive.
There was more.
So,
There's more stuff
you're not
to
wrong
buy.
to be afraid. Huh?
There's more stuff to buy in the online game than there is in the single player game. You can buy more buildings. You can
It's
add
kind of
bikes and
weird,
shops.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like the
way
real
more
game is
stuff.
online.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just push back on the last sentence where I don't think there can be guaranteed success anymore for the gaming industry. This I disagree with, because just look at what China is doing with Genshin Impact, Wuthering Wolves, and now Marvel Rivals. They're doing something, and they're taking and Black Myth Wukong. They are taking the gamers who want pretty much just a game and nothing else. And Marvel Rivals right now is thriving. They are making so much money on that game. It's almost disgusting.
Well,
but that's not to say they are only hitting successes out of the park. NetEase has a lot of failed games and a lot of slop. Like, they got lucky with, they did good with Marvel Rivals. Don't get me wrong, I love that game, but I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, there is only China can give us good games. Because you know what? I don't even agree with that. I don't think Genshin Impact's that good of a game. I don't think Black Myth Wukong is that good of a game. As much as I love Marvel Rivals, there's some problems with it. So at this point, it's less. We got to stop looking at tribalism at, is that side endorsing that game, or does that political leaning go towards that game, and look at what are we getting as an experience. Are we getting good games? Are they fun? And we should be, don't just hitch your wagon to China just because they made one game that is really good.
Spencer, then let me ask you this question because it's relevant. Game Awards just happened, which were complete garbage. Of course,
Stuttering Craig's?
No, Stuttering Craig's were good, but the actual, the other guy.
Okay, that happened like a month ago, but yeah, I follow.
No. Don't think we've talked on this very much, and I'm just going to say, so what was the game of the year then?
It was
Astrobot, for me. It was Astro. Everybody who
Astrobot.
It was Astrobot for real. Like, that's what they picked, but for me, it was Balatro. A completely independent game made by somebody who really wanted to push the limits of gameplay rather than narrative experiences or graphic fidelity.
I played almost all of them for the Game Awards, and to me, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII OG fan, by the way, but I still would have given it to Rebirth because I loved the remake. But I did finish.
I haven't played it yet, not PC.
I did finish Black Myth Wukong 2 as well. So yes, it would have been between those two games for me. Astrobot, I did play, and I understand why it was so popular and why it deserves a lot of the praise. It's not my kind of game because I'm not a huge platformer, but does it deserve Game of the Year based on Black Myth Wukong and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? No, in my opinion.
See, it actually pushes gameplay forward, unlike those other two games. Like, I'm sorry, I love Final Fantasy, and I'm excited for Rebirth, and as soon as it hits PC, I'm probably never going to shut up about it, but I still have to look at Astrobot and be like, that's more of a video game than those other two titles.
I have beaten Rebirth probably 6 or 7 times since it's come.
I'm so jealous.
It's so good.
It is my I'm not playing anything, so I just restart that game. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the third part comes out, and then I can play all of them in one go.
Oh, are you gonna do that? Game. Oh man.
Yeah.
You and Marvin
two-
should do that.
I've
They're gonna
played two
release it
twice.
with more graphics or something. Definitely. Oh, here comes the
Oh,
ultimate package.
Well, like Intergrade. It'll be like Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy, Intergrade, Extra Plus, Omni Slash.
All right, we got to move.
We're really enjoying the super chats though, but I'm loving the conversation today. Mizzy Buddy for 5, unless it's Mitzi Buddy. Love this panel. Will we hear some reviews from TGP sometimes? I'd love to hear about what y'all, especially culture, are playing, indie, AAA, etc. I will tell you, I have been playing in the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, and as far as I know, they stopped making Final Fantasy games after 6, but I love those.
Yeah, and I've been going back in time and playing older recent games that are 5 years or older. I like, for example, like Cyberpunk's probably the most recent game I've replayed recently, but I went back and started over again in Skyrim. I went back and started over again in Red Dead Redemption, and then played Red Dead Redemption 2. Of modern games, there really haven't been a lot out there. I mean, I tried the most recent baseball game, the Sony The Show. I usually buy that or acquire it every few years. The Assassin's Creeds, it's funny. I used to go and play the old ones over and over and over again, but there's a certain cutoff point for me. But I'll be happy to review games as they come out that I'm really interested in. I'm gonna be
When you say cutoff point culture, do you mean like there's one specific Assassin's Creed game you stop at, or like you get 3/4 of the way through a game and then you're like, I'm done?
No, I find no. Although I will do that with a game that doesn't feel like it's complete or anything's moving forward, like it's lacking progression narratively or whatever. But when it comes to Assassin's Creed, I stopped playing it at Black Flag. That's the last one for me. The other ones,
the right time.
Are you getting like all the armor and all the secrets?
Yeah, I get everything, and then I'm and I collect like for the example, like I collect all. Yeah, but I collected all the, like, especially in Black Flag, you collect all the little sea shanties and stuff. That's great.
Bells,
Yeah, and it's just it is what it is. I mean, and of course, we often get caught up in discussing a lot of things, and it looks like Siani Reese actually redacted their message. That's a shame. If you have something else to say, throw it in the chat so we can catch it. But yeah, we've got to get moving, guys. We got to get through these super chats.
I am
a problem to have. Thank you. We love it.
Tennille89 for 10. Can't think of anything clever to say, so I'll just say the word boobs. Have a leaderboard to maintain. After all,
oh, that's true. In fact,
we are a bunch of boobs on this panel.
I just updated it again because of Team.
They just did it. They just can't go down a couple or go down one, whatever. They just
Reese for $4.99. Oh, here we go. Retyped, I guess. Siani Reese for $4.99, and I see your icon, your avatar there. Loved Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Should have gotten Game of the Year.
Totally agree.
I don't know. I loved Astrobot, and my theory on Astrobot is that in the same way that Hollywood always votes for movies that praise Hollywood, Astrobot is a celebration of video games. All of the people who vote.
I thought you were going to say because it was the one game that had Aloy in it that was eligible. That's why the industry gave it to him.
Well, oh my goodness. Like,
I'm just making a Horizon plant joke.
Exactly. Like, stop trying to make Aloy happen, please. I would make a comparison to an actress who's in the Spider-Man series, but I don't want to go there right now. Tennille89.
Yeah, and her name is Miles Morales.
Spider-Man Remastered, by the way, is the best Spider-Man game that Sony has ever made, by the way. Tennille89 for 2. Still hoping Culture will play Dark Tide with me. I don't know, by the way, how we count this. Do we count Siani Reese as $10 for that recent super chat?
I think I'm only doing it for 5 because I don't know if the retraction takes the super chat away. If not, I'll correct it later. But
all right,
easy to do. Yeah.
All right, we got on the other side of the super chats. That was fun.
Here's the leaderboard, by the way. Right now, as of today's show, T-Neil leading for the month. Gold supporter Jacob Foxfire. Silver for the day is T-Neil, and bronze is our friend Butterbiscuit 92. So thank you.
It's really incredible that Tennille can keep up that with just 10 super chats.
Amazing.
Only 10. Speaking of only 10, I wanted to wait until our good buddy Spencer was here to do this next story. And then we've got to get to at least the third one.
Oh, I gotta go.
It's the what? No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, we are, because our title story is coming up after this one. But let's get to this. If you would please drop it on the stage now. That's right. Asmongold calls out Elon Musk, says he'll stream to X for an entire year straight if Tesla CEO can prove he personally leveled up his top-ranking Path of Exile 2 account. Spencer, you want to break this down, since this is your lovely piece of writing as of today?
I would love to break this down.
Oh,
so,
wonderful.
if you guys haven't seen what's been going around the internet for the last week, there is this new game that launched in the end of December called Path of Exile 2. It's basically like an isometric Diablo type of game where the entire point is to just run through mobs of enemies, storm through them, pick up loot, all that sort of fun stuff. So on what month are we? January 7th, Elon said, hey, yeah, no, I'm a big pro at the game. Like, let's, I'm going to stream it on X and I'm going to let everybody watch. When he did, he logged in with an account that was level 97, which for those of you guys who don't play Path of Exile, that is a top 10 globally ranked like level. Once you get to a certain point in Path of Exile 2, the system makes it exponentially harder to get EXP, to the point where you can start playing for like a week straight and maybe get like 2 levels. Like, that's once you get past, like, I think it was like 60 or 70 or something like that. So to get to that point, to get to 97, Elon would have to have been playing all day, every day, pretty much since the game came out. But when he goes on and he does this live stream, he is just not good at the game. Like, this isn't even me getting on my like, oh, Elon's a dork thing. It's just like, you watch him play and you're like, have you actually ever played this game? For example, he's running past items that are the most rare things in the world that only drop at 0.01. He's, discarding items because he goes, oh, that's a level 56. I don't need that. Even though in the game, the level doesn't really matter as much as the effect does. And he's throwing away items that are hyper rare that people pay like hundreds of real world dollars for. He's even got a tab that says, Elon's maps. And it just seemed like he didn't really know what he was doing. And it was really weird. People have been calling him out. And, the call out has really been centered around, you didn't need to do this, Elon. Like, we all love video games here. I know that. That's why we have the show. That's why everybody's watching. But is anybody here going to think more or less of somebody if they're really, 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 really good at a video game? Not really.
Nothing would entertain me more than if Elon Musk is paying some guy to sit around and play Path of Exile all day for him to get him up to that point.
That's what it's looking like, because there's just too many red flags in the way he plays, where to make a more base comparison that a lot of our viewers might know, imagine if somebody was like, oh, I'm a great Halo player. We're going to go play Halo. I'm top ranked MLG. And then when he goes on the map, he picks whatever player we're watching, picks up the plasma rifle and drops the sniper rifle and says, oh, human weapons are weird. They're not really that good in this game. You would go, what are you talking? What? Like, that's not true at all. So basically, a bunch of pretty big Twitch streamers are kind of on Elon going like, why did you do this? Like, it's kind of sad because you're the world's richest man. Did you really need approval that bad that you needed to go fake video games? And so this coverage caught the attention of Asmongold, and Asmongold watched it. He watched the breakdown, and he basically came to the conclusion that, like, yes, definitively, without a doubt, Elon has not played this game before. And so to back up his words, he directly challenged Elon and said, Elon, if you can go on stream and, like, with a face camera, you did it for Diablo, if you can go on and stream, like, restart, like, just play the first level of the story mode to show us that you know what you're doing, I will stream on Twitch for an entire year. Now, asterisk, he's gonna multi-stream, but still, putting himself on Twitter would be a huge get for Elon for the platform. Like, that would boost revenue massively. So Asmongold's putting his money where his mouth is. It kind of just boils down to, will Elon?
So the like, as far as the Diablo thing goes, like, Diablo 4, Elon Musk is one of the top ranked players. Is there any question about whether or not that's actually him playing Diablo 4 at this point?
Yeah, there is. Look, okay, so think about it like this. The latest season of Diablo, season 7, I'm a 251 leveled barbarian. I do a
God.
whirlwind. I do a whirlwind thing that, I mean, I never stop. It's just the
Oh,
whirlwind
I know
of
that
death.
build. I know
will
that
sit
build.
there. Eris will sit there and laugh because it's just like I never stop. All you hear is right. That took between when the season came out, which was months ago, to around New Year's for me to do that. That's the amount of time, and that's free time, a couple hours a night, whatever. 250. I think I'm at 251 levels, plus your original 60. So in reality, you're like 311, but your leveling starts over once you pass 70. You start with Paragon points. Now that's enough to completely fill out your guy, get all the best gear, and to perfect the build that you're going to use. There is no ifs, ands, or buts of, am I going to be extraordinary when I get there? You are. The question is, did you get there? Did you get there on your own? Because only you know what you're doing with that build. That's it. You know what you're doing. If you were to sit down and pick up someone's level 250 barbarian and you don't know how to work them, you'd get your butt handed to you on Torment 4. It wouldn't even be
like instantaneously too. Not even like, oh, I made it through a little bit. You would portal in and you're gone.
Because like that whirlwind build, that's that and some screams I do to reinforce that. That gives all my gear, all my abilities, everything is for that one attack. Wait, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're useless. You just sit there. You can't even attack. He's got to know what he's doing. If this was given to him and handed over and they just said, here, go ahead, that would very easily explain his ineptitude at his own build. You would know what you're doing. No question if you built it on your own.
What if he's not paying someone to do it? What if he's just got an Optimus robot that's sitting there playing the game for him nonstop?
That's possible.
That's more impressive. Show us that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, show me the Optimus robot playing.
Yeah.
What if he's playing it with his brain?
Neuralink chip. The first Neuralink game, Path of Exile 2.
I want to see the AI. I want to see Grok play Diablo. Show us that. I'll totally.
You said Grok Diablo, and I'm like, eventually they're gonna find a way to let us like AI generate an active playthrough of Doom on Grok. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you can play it on a like one of those calculator watches.
So. Oh, you can play it on blood cells. Like it's crazy what people have ported Doom to. And I mean like inside actual people's bodies, DNA blood cells.
That is, I thought you were talking about a game there. I was like, what? I don't think I've played Blood Cells. No, I was thinking about the printers, like the Business Hub printers that have been made to operate Doom, which is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, all the old school tech. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I have no reason to doubt Elon on almost anything just because of his, crazy abilities. Would I doubt?
Well, man, you should at least doubt him a little bit. It's always good to have a healthy bit of skepticism towards.
Sure. Well, I mean, I didn't think the chopsticks were going to catch the rocket, so they did.
But he didn't do that.
Okay.
He has engineers and teams.
Spencer is making a pretty good case. He did pay someone else to do that for him.
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think it is Elon who did this. Both Diablo and Path of Exile, and I'll tell you exactly why. He just doesn't have enough time for that. It's not physically possible. Yes, if you think about all the stuff that he does, I'm sorry, but it makes no sense. Do I think it's wrong that he does it? No, I don't, because that is what other people do. They buy characters. That's why paid skip buttons exist in games. Like I play a lot. I play a lot of games, and I do mean if I can quite a lot of games because I love them. But I could never do what who was it said like it played Final Fantasy 7 remake Rebirth 7 times. Was it you, Marvin, or Jonas? Who was it?
That was me.
I platinumed it once, and that's it for now. But then I see players such those who play Genshin Impact every single day over and over again, and they have like the best mounts, they have best everything. Wow, everything. No, that takes a lot of time. And Elon doesn't seem like the person who has that kind of time with what he's also doing. That makes no sense. And now in not just one game, Diablo 4, but 2? Nah.
He also is the kind of guy, though, that working from home is not acceptable for any of his workers, but if he wants to hold a meeting and play Path of Exiles the entire time that he's doing it, no one's going to tell him that he can't do that.
No, absolutely not.
Just throwing that out there.
I'd quit so fast. I don't care how good
there's
that
no
job
way
is.
I would work for that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, never.
Oh yeah, he seems like he seems like a terrible boss.
I admire him in many ways, but his hiring and firing policy is something that's probably going to get him sued very hard if it hasn't already.
He's been sued lots of times. Usually wins.
Well, his one of his chief executives is also his corporate counsel. One of the guys that goes in when they're doing takeovers. Culture, we got a couple more super chats here. I think somebody wants to stay at the top of the leaderboard.
Whoa!
For $10, 10 super chat, and it is Tennille's 10th super chat according to YouTube. Also, according to YouTube, Tennille's 10th super chat is Tennille89 for 2. Oh, maybe Elon will play Dark Tide with me. Culture, I think he's calling you out.
He is. I'm
an Optimus robot.
I'm going to go on. I'm going to go on Steam. I have a pretty decent bill that I'll pay today, and then I will go on Steam and look for this Dark Tide game and see if it fits in that budget. It's probably like $6 on Steam, right? It's like probably cheap. So I'll look at it. Yeah.
Yep.
Anything for our viewers, truly. And for those of you who have contributed to the amazing super chats today, the leaderboard didn't change. We still have the same people in the same place, at least for now. And I want to say thank you. Now, we have another amazing story that I want to introduce in this way. Written by Marvin once again over at That Part Place. We have some people who I think are both crazy at each other's throats, or maybe one person's at the other person's throat, or there's a really we get into a lot of drama in gaming. I'm sure you guys are all familiar.
Oh yeah, Craven the Hunter review time. Let's go.
All right, let's jump right into Craven real quickly. Except not, we're gonna jump into a former X-Play host goes after a former Kotaku chick, and it is stinky. This is stinky cheese. We've got that's right. Adam Sessler unloads on controversial. There's a word. Ex-Kotaku editor. Thank you. Alyssa Mercante on social media, an epic takedown before going back to attacking gamers again. Look, as much as I appreciated the seal clap there, I think this is a little worse than that. I think he was doing the alligator bit. He's a Floridian. He was just,
Is Sessler a Floridian?
I know.
If I pride myself on any one thing as an editor-in-chief, it is my ability to take ridiculous screenshots of people that I don't like.
Well, this is absolutely ridiculous, and so is
I just need to clear the record here as a native Floridian. Adam Sessler was born in El Cerrito, California. He's in the other weird state.
He's one of us.
One of us. But what he did do is this.
San Diego. I turned out okay. San Diego. Well, kind of.
Yeah, you and me, Loki. We're all right.
That's right.
Well, anyway, this story's been going on for a bit. Marvin, you want to take over? Break this down for us?
So Adam Sessler, he attacked our old friend Alyssa Mercante on social media in a move that many were quick to call a redemption arc for the controversial former G4 host. However, he soon went right back to his favorite pastime of attacking gamers.
It's the eyes. The eyes.
Speaking of my ability to take screenshots. But yes, he went after her specifically for maybe some takes of hers that people have claimed are against a certain chosen people. And she did eventually fire back, but then I believe blocked him, and so her replies like vanished from the thread. But she fired back with talking about that situation in the Middle East. It's just a lot of it is gaming's Freddy versus Jason, because like no matter who wins, we all lose, right?
Yeah, that's like I've got Ken Watanabe in my head with the let them fight. Like that's just what's in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Mercante was brought to his attention while he was railing against games journos. He looked into her for like 2 seconds and was like, "Oh my gosh, this lady's terrible." I think mostly because of her takes on the Middle East situation. He's all of his criticisms happened to were basically directed in that general direction.
Now, this was all over on Blue Sky, according to your article, so none of this spilled out over anywhere else?
No.
No,
I mean,
Oh, that's great.
It's like whispering in a cave over there on Blue Sky.
I know.
Oh,
It's
it's like a zoo. They're all eating each other over there. So just
I
let
am-
them continue
It's
to
like
eat each
it's
other.
like the kids sections of like Yahoo Kids is back, man. We can just go contain them over there.
I
Yeah.
am so
Give them a
thankful-
flash game.
I am so
Spencer and I
thankful-
follow each other on Blue Sky, by the way.
Yes, we do.
I-
We're power users. Hashtag
I am-
resist.
I am so thankful for the people that go over there to Blue Sky and create accounts just to monitor things like this so that I don't have to be on Blue Sky. Because I could think of no darker hell.
I'm one of those people that I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I actually really like my Blue Sky account, but that's because I've hyper curated it and I don't look at anything related to do with
See,
the culture war.
I
I would-
missed you, Spencer.
I would be so leveled by like just the cacophony and the nonsense that would be in there. I'd be like, I can't possibly log into this ever again because
But there's so
like,
much good Invisible Woman fan art lately. It's paradise.
Invisible Woman fan art is just blank page.
And it's pouring out by the thousands, and I can't consume enough of it.
Oh my gosh! All right, fair enough.
And of course, by
Touche.
the way, but any anti-Semitism or anything is all alleged here. We don't know Alyssa Mercante's actual thoughts about this. And I think Adam Sessler was making assumptions based on things that he saw regarding her take on things going on in the Middle East, which she is very
What?
it's one of the
No.
many things. It's one of the many things that she is very, very vocal about.
Yeah, and that might be to appeal to a particular Twitch streamer.
Mm-hmm. Hey, is Sessler, by the way, is he the one that was doing the talk to him, Frosk? No.
That was the that was the other
Completionist.
guy.
That was the
Completionist.
completionist.
No, I don't
Yeah.
even think that was the completionist. That was the other guy.
No,
What?
the black guy didn't say anything. That was the completionist on that stream.
Look,
Oh,
I have
Gerard.
said it. I have said it multiple times. If Frosk was a Pokemon, the evolved form would be that woman right there. When you level
Oh,
up
don't put
Frost
that- don't
enough, it turns
Oh.
into Mercante.
No, that's
Oh.
they're regional variants. That's Galarian Frost.
You got to be careful with the shiny Mercante.
You only want that in Pokemon. If somebody asks you for that at a bar, say no and call your parents.
Okay, so did she still write for Stones, Rolling Stone?
I believe that was a one-off kind of freelance gimmick, and I have not seen anything from her pop up. The only place that I've noticed her writing now is on Patreon behind her paywall.
No, that makes sense. Maybe.
Quality.
Yeah. I mean, what is Substack a money thing? Did people make money off writing over there?
They can, yeah.
I guess they can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a membership based thing. Somebody has to be signed up for a paid account in order for you to make money off of them on Substack. Yeah.
Well, I
just let the animals eat each other. Let them eat each other and let them stay over there. I'm so just over this whole, oh well, we're gonna go over here and hang out because we don't like Elon. And within 5 minutes, they're all at each other's throats. Let them continue to go after each other. They will take care of the problem for us.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Sessler's pretty much a kook as it is. I mean, there's nobody that can say otherwise. He, at least if you observe his behavior, I'm looking at all these things, and look, Vera had something to say on the subject.
Yeah, she pointed out that Sessler was going right after gamers again. After like everybody started being like, "Oh, redemption arc," because he was going after Mercante, and everybody else was like, "No, he's going to go right back to it," and he did. He went back and he said, gamers in there insipid games in there insipid players and personalities told me to F off, and I did. It's a stupid medium filled with annoying Fs, convinced of their genius, and I miss it like I miss dysentery. And he said
Wait,
95% of
Stop
game-
talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Did he just admit to having dysentery?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Like,
But
okay, bro.
Been
Sounds
there,
like it.
brother. Been there.
But he hates it so much, but he can't do anything else because he's not qualified to do anything else. So he has to keep going in the gaming industry and trying to be relevant.
What's he doing right now, Marvin?
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you might have gleaned
couldn't
something.
I looked and I couldn't find anything that he's not doing the cesspool stuff anymore or anything like that. So,
I just want to make a quick note, Jonas. You made a little dig there that Mercante might be trying to gain the attention of one particular Twitch streamer.
Yeah,
if it's a Twitch streamer, yes, okay. So I was gonna make jokes, and now you ruined all my setups.
Sorry.
But I don't know if you've seen the video. There is a video of Alyssa going up to Hassan at, I believe, like TwitchCon or VidCon or one of those big like YouTube streamer conventions, and he wants nothing to do with her. It's one of those like amazing moments where she thinks like, oh, he's going to be so on my side. We're going to have like, we're instantly going to connect because we're on like the same politic. And he's just standing there like, please get me out of here. Like anybody, Godzilla, where are you? Just step on the convention center.
But honestly, doesn't she have like a boy toy or something that she keeps trying to feature in images?
I'm going to say that she probably is not particular and allegedly not monogamistic.
I know she does have a boyfriend because she just alleged that someone doxed him.
That is true. That is
I know
true.
way too much about this woman's life. I hate how much I have to know about her.
Yep. This is the interesting thing about the space where you might even have a news outlet. Let's say you got a news outlet and you try not to cover something, but it keeps coming up. And of course, I'm talking about Adam Sessler when I say this. I want to say something about Sessler. Like, I actually really liked Adam Sessler's takes on a lot of video games. And when he wasn't getting into the culture war stuff, he had really balanced, very grown-up takes on video games. Sometimes he'd go into that space where they talk about ludonarrative dissonance, which was one of the most insufferable topics that ever came into the video game space. Well, if they were like the idea that you have a character that has committed murder when you're in a shooter, it's like, no, we are playing a video game here, so please kindly.
The dumbest argument with that, and a lot of games since then, and I know I'm deviating a little bit, but it's really quick. A lot of games since then tried to do the reflect on what you just did. Don't you feel bad about the fact that you had to kill? Games like Spec Ops, games like The Last of Us. And it's like the problem all of these fart sniffing like wannabe artists do is that I don't feel bad because you gave me no other option to progress in the video game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I have to kill that dog because you literally gave me I don't want to do it. I put down the control. All right, that's it. Go away.
That's it.
No.
That's the end of the game. That's the end of the game. I'm putting down the controller. That's the end of the video game. If you forced me to do that, if you forced me to take that action, I'm done. I'm probably not picking.
Oh yeah, in general, like blowing that out, that specific action. No, thank you, man. I'm out of your game.
See, and I just go super John Wick on that.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
Against the dogs?
You are
doing.
doing.
You watch the same John Wick?
No.
The endless wave of stunt actors that they throw at you. You got to take them out.
Yeah,
that's the point of the game when it comes down to it. I'm not feeling bad about the mushrooms that I ate in the last time that I played Mario Brothers. I'm not going to feel bad about the wave of German guys during World War II that I took out in Call of Duty or Medal of Honor, if I want to throw back there.
Yeah,
Call of Duty 4, Jonas. So Call of Duty 4, when you're in Russia and you're defending that position, waiting for your helicopter to come in, you've got to take out some dogs. Bad dog is trying to kill me. I'm going to take out the dogs, and I'm gonna extract out with a helo. I'm not gonna get on the helicopter and go, I had to shoot those poor puppies. I'm a wreck. No, I was trying to save my life and get out of
5-page think piece, right?
So, well, let me tell you right now, the boss hates it when I'm playing like Skyrim or something where I'm getting attacked by wolves or whatever. It's just like, that's like if she hears the no more wolf sound, she's like mad at me.
Well, that's what
women, am I right?
It's nuts.
That's when you turn it into a thrall and you see no, see the puppy's fine.
I recruited the puppy. Good puppy. Good puppy.
Yeah, I had to get him on my team.
The dog killing scene is from the last part, the Last of Us Part 2, right? The one that we're trying to make.
Oh, the one that you guys are,
yeah, exactly.
You should do what that Korean gamer did. He I don't know what scene he was playing Last of Us Part 2, was he was streaming it, and then he just got fed up with something in the game, just took the CD out and just broke it in two. I mean, that's obviously the message. Now you're not going to kill the puppy. So it's like maybe he should have done. Maybe everyone should have done that, like, or what PewDiePie almost wanted to do, uninstall the game. But I mean, like, the preaching, I understand it. If you're going to do the preaching and you're not giving gamers any chance to change anything, or at least not do what you're supposed to not do, you're not preaching. I mean, you're not giving any choices. It's quite clearly forced.
Yeah, there's no message there.
Yeah.
There's no like we're not gonna feel bad because you gave us literally no other choice.
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2 was famous for that, because it's not even just the dog, because you have to kill multiple dogs throughout the game, but like the NPCs,
it's also the people. Yeah,
the NPCs all had their own names and like connections to each other. So like somebody would find a body that you left and they'd be like, "Oh God, Jerry, no!"
That was cool.
I thought that was a cool detail, though.
That was so cool, but I was like, man.
But then people started going like, "Don't you feel so?"
This.
Yeah, don't you feel so bad about killing people with names? It's like, dude, I didn't know him.
Right.
As much as
then we come to where we are now, where they're a little too focused on story, and they're a little.
You don't have a choice now.
Right.
You don't have a choice now, Jonas. You don't have any kind of a choice. Back then, it could be like, okay, do you want to go down the dark side, or do you want to be a good person? And you had that choice. Now, no, it's all hand-fisted, and you don't have a choice. It's, well, you're going to do bad things, and then you're going to feel absolutely horrible about it for the next half hour in the game.
Frank, what were you going to say there?
No, it's just as much as I rail on The Last of Us Part 2 when it comes to certain story decisions that a certain person decided to do, technically that game was amazing. Like, when it comes to technically what they were able to do, so it's very important to praise that part.
I am still obsessed with the rope physics. Like, I know it's like a 30-second bit where you have Ellie and you like lasso up a rope to pull down a ladder, but man, it's just so mesmerizing seeing actual real rope physics.
To me, one thing that I've always been a problem with me when it comes to games that are trying to go into the realism of things is the blood and gore mechanic, or like, blood and blood splatter and shooting or whatever. I think what they did in Last of Us Part 2 was really good. And other games.
Oh, you mean the Call of Duty style thing where like you get hit and then it starts going like red splattered on your screen?
No, I'm talking about like when you shoot someone. It's like it's.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
Sometimes you don't have a bolt hole or anything like that, and it drives me crazy. And in Red Dead Redemption 2 did it great. GTA 5 did it okay. GTA 4 did better in my opinion. And then Last of Us Part 2 did it great. So praise where it's there needs to be praise for something. But when it comes to story and characters, I'm sorry, I don't know what they were smoking. And I still think a lot of people are giving too much praise to Neil Druckmann for Last of Us, while they still forget that on Last of Us Part 1, there was 2 directors, and that's Bruce Straley. And
my man,
he deserves a lot of praise, and he's not getting it, and that's really annoying. Sorry if I went over.
I really appreciate Frank's comments.
Me too. Wow.
You're welcome.
Friendship ended with the rest of that gameplay. Now Frank's my best friend.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
It's why I delayed in bringing him on, Spencer. I knew I'd lose you.
No, we have a special bond, Marvin. Chiefs together.
It's just there's no more air around you anymore, Spencer. Come on.
Yeah, special bondage.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah. Well, since we've basically destroyed the loving relationship between Alyssa and Mr. Sessler, I think we need to move on. We've got some thoughtful chats that came.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Neil 89 for 5. Marvin, I think Spencer's dislike for Elon might rival my hate for Cynthia Winemom Gamora. What say you, Chief? Meant as a compliment.
If he means Cynthia Erivo, then yes.
That woman.
That woman is
Oh,
terrible.
okay, yeah.
She's really
Spencer's true hatred though is Simu Liu.
Don't
So-
even. What are we doing here? What are we
Okay.
doing here?
Why did you bring that up? Now we got to hear
Avengers
the Simu Liu.
assemble to box office disaster.
By the way, did you know that Simu Liu came back for Marvel's What If season 3?
You might have missed it, like most of
Oh,
the
they're
world.
still doing that show?
Yeah,
Not
they
anymore.
just ended it. Yeah.
I
Siani
don't
Reese
watch Disney.
490. Well, I try not to, but they keep pulling me back in. Siani Reese for $4.99. I'm a console player and thinking of going to Steam. Is it worth it?
Yeah,
1000%.
yeah, definitely.
If you have a decent game machine, I mean, and now you can make one for a lot less than before. Apparently,
cheaper, just like buy like a mini PC off of Amazon. I mean, be careful about like Chinese spyware, but they're pretty cheap.
You don't really need a beefy PC for Steam either. Like right now, I've been enjoying so much indie games that are like they run smoothly. They're completely easy. I run it on my laptop. Just bring it everywhere. Like I'm now obsessing with this game called Heroes Adventure Passion. Something again, another Chinese game that is like RPG back, JRPG feeling of Final Fantasy VI and stuff. So yeah, go ahead. If you really want to play a good one, I heard you, Jonas, saying that Final Fantasy ended with Final Fantasy Final Fantasy VI. You should try a game called Wandering Sword. You're gonna like that.
Okay.
Well,
love it.
I'll just say it this way: you don't have to, unless you want the optimum performance out of your machine with the best, the latest games with the best possible graphics, right? Which I'm going to start fighting with people about DLSS here in the future. That'll be a whole other conversation. We'll have to have a whole show dedicated to the new
Ray tracing
5 series. Cards.
I'm in with you on that.
All right, fair enough. But like I said, unless you need that top end performance with the best graphics and 120 hertz, refresh rate or whatnot, I mean, you can dump a bunch of money into a computer, but you don't necessarily have to, and you get good results. And Steam, as Frank pointed out, is kind of lightweight and really is unobtrusive. And most of the games on there, especially the mid-level, AA studios and stuff for independent indie games, are really lightweight. So you're not really going to run into a lot of trouble. And
I haven't noticed any problems with Steam games myself, having Steam running in the background.
Yeah.
You can pretty much get by on a 3050 now. I mean, if you're just looking for, I want this to function, a 3050 is cheap as heck, and they're putting like a reduced version of that in the Switch too.
Yeah,
so
they're
basically a 3040 kind of in that range, which never existed before in the new Switch. And if you can run that, you can have a 3050 run your computer.
And there's a lot of onboard cards that run at that, like the 3 series. So I mean, if you can get a 4 series on board, that's great. Like not a laptop kind of a mini PC. Yeah, I
think we need to give up on that last story here. We got plenty of super chats and a very nice back and forth going on screen right now. So Kamchi for $10. We've been pushing DEI back. I know they will hide under the name Bridge. Thanks, Kershaw Intel. And the fight continues on. Dread on Square policy, as this is a double-edged shotgun that will backfire them badly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's I think there's articles on Bounding and on that Park Place about that Square policy.
Yep. Yeah, we Spencer covered it, and Raven Redgrave covered it over there for us. It's not good. I mean, basically Square is now allowing itself to take your games away and even bring legal issues against you based on whether or not it finds your conduct offensive.
That's right.
So it's all about silencing critical voices. Sorry, Luke.
I was just going to say, you own nothing and like it. I am absolutely totally against this, and I'm someone who wants Square to succeed. I want them to continue to make good games, and I'm like, dude, do you want my money or not?
That's the thing with Square. Like, Square is my favorite studio. Obviously, I've loved Square my entire gaming life. And I watch as they get into bed with Sweet Baby Inc. and now they're doing stuff like this, and it's absolutely heartbreaking.
Yep,
agreed.
Right. At least they got out of bed. Progress.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I have a little comment about the Square Enix thing, because it is actually also related to what the Japanese ministry is doing to combat worker harassment. So it is actually a reaction to that. And it's not just Square Enix, it's a lot of other companies too. It's very weird, I gotta be honest, because by law, a lot of the things they want to implement will contradict American law. Because I went into my interest, I have a law book thing on PDF here, and it did contradict quite a lot of things. So a lot of things they cannot do without getting sued to oblivion. But it has a correlation with this Japanese ministry that is trying to combat apparently extreme harassment towards workers from outside. That is not necessarily only about gaming. It has to do with the entire worker ethics situation. So it is a very odd situation that they're in right now. Mm-hmm. But it is bad.
Jacob Foxfires for $5 more. I don't want to hear about these two being stinky. I nearly gagged just now. I think that's a reference to Alyssa
Sessler and Mercante.
He did go through a pirate phase, that Adam Sessler. Araxis for $5. Have you guys checked out the trailer for Blood of Dawnwalker? It looks interesting. Might be too scary for Jonas. He might need an adult. I'll have you know, by the way, I did actually start playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I had to put on the headphones and tell a child to go back upstairs. What are you doing? So,
have you ever played it before?
No, I've never played it. I've been in a phase where I've been pretty much surrounded by kids, and then my wife is sitting there next to me, and she's not into the blood and guts kind of stuff. So I have to kind of choose my battles. So yeah, first time playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I was outside shoveling snow, thinking to myself how much I hate snow. And then I came in to, I'm going to relax by playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Have you guys ever played the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2?
Oh, yeah, I finished it.
Yeah, you're wandering around in the snow. So I got to say, I had to get past that here. Let's see, the train robbery in the beginning of the game.
That's how GTA 5 starts, now that I think about it. You're in the snow as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's a programming flex to try to do that right off the bat, to try to convince everybody, oh, by the way, you're going to need to go up this mountain and just follow around this jabbering character. The story better be pretty awesome. I'm going to stick with it for a little while longer, but yeah, I'm going to have to get past the initial part of this game.
Wait a minute. Was this all about Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have anything negative to say about this game?
Yeah.
I was wandering around a big white
There's not more of it.
There is no way that we could have tracked whatever this guy's name is, John, I think it is. And they're like, we got to find him. And there's this really bizarre path they take through the mountains to find this guy named John. It makes no sense.
First of all, this guy named John is John Marsden.
I know, that's pretty fantastic.
The protagonist of Red Dead Redemption 1.
Yeah.
Okay. He got mauled by a wolf. Then I had to shoot a bunch of wolves.
Yep.
And guess what? The aiming mechanics are not as fun as I thought they would be. That being said, I'm still waiting for the moment where I feel like I'm actually playing this game instead of getting all of this heavy intro at the start of it. Like, guys, get out of my way. I want to play the game.
It takes a while to get started, but once you're off the mountain, you have pretty much complete control of.
I can't remember that taking me more than 8 minutes.
It's because it was so good.
Take that long.
Because you were mesmerized at everything.
The mountain does take a minute. It takes a bit. You're up there.
4 hours.
Stopped to unsuccessfully attach a detonator wire to a detonator. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're almost there.
The intro takes 4 hours. And yes, for anyone who has been waiting for this game, for me too, that intro just went like that. But when I replayed it recently, I was like, wait, was it that long? Yeah. So it takes 4 hours.
Yeah, but like that, the first 8 minutes of the game are the trek to get, stuff done. And then after that, yeah, I guess the balance of the intro, but that's still engaging in setting up the explosives, setting up, basically the circumstance and situation.
Go from here to there, hit action button, go from here to there, hold action button. Like
you're getting to know the characters in those.
What are you playing this on?
A PS5.
Man, I did not have that kind of experience. I
gotta say again, I was agitated from another issue that you and I might have talked about as well.
Understood.
It
Understood.
was not. It was not
He
helping
hadn't
me.
talked to me in like a couple of days, and we were having withdrawals. It's a hard time.
Oh,
It is.
no.
I have one thing for you, Jonas, if you want to try it out, though. You said something about the aiming mechanic. You don't like the aiming because it's automatic if you press thing. If you want to really have a fun, realistic challenge, turn that off and have it all manual. That really stressed me out because it made me think about how to aim properly, where to hide and cover. That was a completely different game for me.
Okay. All right. That does sound pretty awesome. I will also say the stand over dead bodies and slowly wait for him to loot everybody. I get it. The animation was great, but I want to play a game. I don't want to play a movie.
When you move on further, it's just like skinning. It automates
The
it.
skinning, I was really impressed with the animation on skinning the deer.
Yeah. That shocked me, especially the one with the rabbit. I was like, what?
Mhm.
It's like, if anyone knows what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Field dressing the animals, indeed. But on that note,
this is a game to probably you got to get out of here.
I know that's the whole thing. Yeah, I was trying to draw your attention to the fact that we have a couple more I'd like to get to.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Blood of the Dawnwalker. I will check out the trailer myself, even though I
watch the trailer, but watch the Witcher 3 trailer first. I challenge anybody here to watch the Witcher 3 or Witcher 4 trailer first, the new one with Siri,
Witcher 4,
and then watch this right after it and go, yeah, I know exactly where all the talent went. I know why we're dealing with this. Oh, it's political and it's a woman in medievalism, and where all the good writing went.
Mhm.
I see where it all went.
Yeah.
Yep. Neil 89 for 10. To steal a joke from Miss Zen in a previous stream, Mercante looks less attractive, like a less attractive Elton John. It also had coward and predictable and lazy and dumb and smelly and some other mean words.
Ooh,
Yeah,
boy.
she blocked me long ago, and I blocked her back because I don't play the game where somebody blocks me and then they can unblock me to snipe and then go back behind the block. No, once you block me, you're done.
Yeah, I had a little back and forth with her from That Park Place account. It was
I recall.
small. It was more like using a laser pointer on a cat. Rachel Drego for £2. Final evolution is Nancy Pelosi. it's
Terrifying.
Sunday morning.
The Skeletor of California.
Sunday morning.
Daniil 89 for $20. Marvin.
Thank you, Jonas. That clip goes through my head every day, and I'm glad somebody else knows it.
That Mercante pronunciation, is that an accent thing or a Freudian slip? I ask because we have similar accents, though mine is a bit faded unless I'm drunk, but pronounce it differently, and maybe because I'm teasing. Maybe.
I guarantee you, if you heard anything other than her name, it was entirely unintentional. That is not how I roll. In order to speak it the way you're saying it, you need a Mr. H accent.
Speaking of which, I gotta go. So
Yeah,
I'm going to leave it to the great and powerful Jonas J. Campbell to wrap it up for us for the day. For those of you out there that contributed to the stream, all 500 of you during the course of this show, I just want to say thanks very much. I know we all appreciate it. We will start yelling at each other playing live games soon. Trust on that.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya. Bye, culture. And we'll all be redirected to Mr. H after this stream is done. If I haven't set that up, I will make sure that's done before we get out of here. Siani Reese for 199. Thanks, guys. You made up my mind. I'm sorry to hear that. Daniil 89 for 5. I missed the days when a higher number denoted a higher end GeForce card. Now I have a 2080 Ti that's superior to one of the 30 series I bought. Can someone who speaks PC translate this to English?
Okay, so he's got a second gen or a first gen RTX that is more powerful than the third gen that he bought. That's possible. Right now, they're saying a 4070 is going to be as good as my 3090. I highly doubt that, but we'll see.
So he probably has like a 37. Yeah, he probably has a 3070, and the 2080 is better than the 3070. I have a 3080 myself, and that's better than the 2080 Ti. But yeah, it's odd. Like, it's like saying that the PlayStation 2 is stronger than the PlayStation 3, which shouldn't
because
be
of
the
what
case.
version you bought. Yeah, it'd be like a PS4 Pro is more powerful than the standard PS5.
Yeah,
it makes no sense, but it's just the way they do it.
Yeah. John Coleman for $5. Panel, please take a little bit to watch the Oracle of Melis trailer when you guys have time after the show. So, okay, Blood of the Dawnwalker, Oracle of Melis. Anybody watch that one yet? Yeah, by the way.
I heard that.
Dawnwalker looks incredible. Haven't heard of this Malice. The only Malice I know is Marvel Rivals Malice, and that's not for this stream.
And of course, Culture already set the redirect to Mr. H because he's the best. He's the best. Radio Drago for £5. In my opinion, Red Dead Redemption 2 is exceptional. It might be, and I don't judge games based off of the first, what's feeling like 4 hours.
If you end up not liking this game, it might actually eclipse your dislike of Mass Effect as earning you the name L Take Jonas.
Okay, all right. I'm just pointing out.
I've never met a human being who did not care for this game, so you would be.
I have been told by people very close to me that this is their favorite game ever. Which
I can understand that.
It still looks great.
I also want to point out, like, there are different games. Like, as you said, you liked Astrobot a lot, right? Somebody said that, and I respect the platformer Astrobot, and I respect Super Mario platform, but I'm not a platformer gamer myself. I don't like them. Like, I don't like the genre. I don't like racing games either. But I respect them. I understand which one is good and not. So you might not like, say, realism, Red Dead type of games, but you might like more like fast-paced other stuff. So yeah, it depends.
I've also heard it's a pretty short game, so
Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah.
No.
It's like Final Fantasy
Who told
7.
you that?
You're in for like a 200
I thought you were making a joke.
No. Oh, okay. Well, it's again.
Here's the thing.
I played the original Red Dead Redemption. So
if you stay on the beaten path, it's still a long game, but it's going to be a very grounded experience. If you go off the beaten path, I mean, you could find space aliens, you can find
Viking
creatures and just crazy stuff.
And just whenever you stop and just take in the nature and how the nature reacts, it's a game that was made with precision on details. So if you're not interested in these details, that's like the animations, the way the forest works, the way the animals react, then I understand it. But it is a game for, let me point it out very clear, it is a game for grown men who really likes the slow and just looking at nature and stuff. I know it's not for everyone.
Yellowstone fans.
Yeah, Yellowstone fans. Perfect example. Yellowstone fans.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm still going to continue to play the game. I may need to just report back to you all on how it went because I'm probably not going to live stream this particular game. But and here it is again, by the way, this nasty rumor that I don't like Mass Effect. I just don't like boring animation cycles during dialogue. That's what I really
again.
Jonas's favorite game is Mass Effect 2. Everybody remember that. Always bring it up.
Mass Effect 2 is great.
I got to say, I got whatever the top gamer score was for the original Mass Effect. I got it. So I've played plenty of it. Kamchi for $199. Surprised no one talked about Yakuza Pirate in Hawaii. I saw some clips. And,
me too.
It looked amazing.
I mean that I thought at first that's Black Flag with the mod. It's like, no, that's actually a game. I was like,
Ubisoft
wow, okay.
wishes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, as a person who has not played anything in the Yakuza series, I have no idea what that game is about. Because it seems like that word is attached to so many different things.
As someone who has played every single entry in the Yakuza franchise, I don't know what that game is about.
It gives me a little bit of a Saints Row vibe, like we're just going to do what we're going to do.
It's more like it's more grounded than a Saints Row.
I'm not saying it plays like Saints Row because
no, I know. I'm trying to give a good approximation. It's more like a grounded GTA that's less like over the top, blood, gore, all that sort of, drugs, and more like wacky. Like, oh, what's this side mission in GTA? You've got to go blow out a whole den of drug dealers and then take their stuff and then evade the cops or whatever. In this game, you've got to help a guy who's trying to get a job as a mascot for a fast food restaurant, beat up the other mascots who won't let him near his job. it's a fantastic little weird niche title.
It sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
that sounds like going to Wendy's in the original. Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Not
or
GTA,
like
the other one. It wasn't Wendy's. It was Freckle Girl, whatever.
yeah,
We got a
or
lot
when you-
of fuzz
Yeah,
coming
go
off of you, Spencer. So I'm going to unmute you, but I don't know. I might mute you back, but Mr. Tickle Trunk for $5 Canadian. When a corporation owns a studio, the talent is pushed out by two forces: one, activists, and two, constant corporate pressure for a cheaper, submissive workforce. I'd agree with that.
He's not wrong, and it only happens when something is successful. That's only when it happens. When something becomes successful, greedy people who want to be part of it comes in and take over and decide how they should go forward, and then that's destroyed. So then a new company becomes a new company is grown, and then that company becomes successful, and then they come in again and again and again. It's what we call in the business those who complain themselves up a job. The ones who fails upwards. They come when money arrives. It's always like that. Just look at Disney.
Perfect. Radio Drago for £5. If Jonas doesn't like Red Dead Redemption 2, force him to play Dustborn on stream as punishment. I was joking, guys. I love Red Dead Redemption. So
there we go.
what are you talking about? I really love.
That's right. Quick, change the tune.
Gutch. He seems like such a charming guy who's definitely not doomed to get shot really, really soon.
He's not doomed to get. Trust me, he's not doomed to get shot really, really soon.
Yeah.
Is he about to become the villain?
He has
I
one
just
more.
Hearing about the O'Driscolls. So, irate specialist with an interesting comment. I've been playing Earthbound on a Jonas recommendation. It is weird. Hippies and strange men attacking children. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yes. Earthbound is strange, but it is a classic for a reason.
I mean, if you like Earthbound, I think you would like the Yakuza series, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it is that kind of weird. Yeah. It is, because there's this Yakuza series is like
that's a good comparison.
It's like soap opera, very serious stuff, cutscenes and story, like very hardcore stuff, and then suddenly outside of it, it's like, oh, you can go and become a coach for a baseball team, and it's a really good mini game. I spent hours on it. I think it was Yakuza 6, where you pretty much just it has its own mini game where you have like this mini baseball coaching simulator thing. It's so weird and good.
That's amazing. That reminds me of playing Final Fantasy X, and at the end they have some kind of music mini game, but you can tell whoever made it does not know anything about music theory, and so if you know anything about music, you will not play it correctly.
I'm glad they got a job on Dustborn, though.
Ooh, triggered. Yeah. With that being said, we have reached the end of the show. Let's go around the pike here. Marvin, I know you've got a show tonight, don't you?
Yes, tonight we've got Toonie Talk Wrestling over on the Toonie Town Wrestling channel. We're going to be talking about AEW All In Texas going up direct against Saturday night's main event, Corey Graves' comments, and a whole bunch of other things, including some Dave Meltzer ridiculousness. And then Thursday night at 8 p.m., we've got Toonie Talk TV over on the Toonie Town TV channel, where you can catch us talking about pop culture and all those wonderful news stories of the week, where Spencer usually pops in eventually when he's done hanging out with his cooler friends. And of course, keep it to thatparkplace.com for all the news that should be fun, and check out Spencer over at Bounding Into Comics.
Awesome. Frank, do you have anything that you want to shout out here? You've been doing great work for That Park Place, but if you got something else you want to tell people about, shoot your shot.
Well, we there are more articles coming. There's more news coming, and I think 2025 is going to be an interesting year for game developers and game companies. I think it's going to be probably the year that's going to put a nail on the coffin of certain ideologies, but we'll have to see. There are still games coming out that I think the reaction of change until these games have been released, because they take so long to make. And a lot of news. I mean, I have an article coming up, hopefully, about the Smash JT lawsuit, where I've combed through the PDF file of the lawsuit, and it's taking a while to write because it's a lot of lawyer speak. So I do hope that's going to be something interesting people are going to find. But lots of weird stuff. I got to be honest. A lot of interesting strategies by the lawyers.
We should keep in touch about the that one. I might have some interesting resources for you there. Loki. How's Loki's Morning Mischief going?
We're doing good. I'm gonna have a stream about Excalibur over at Pops's Talk Hard. If you've ever seen that movie, it's the Excalibur movie from the 80s. We'll be over there in about like an hour.
I love that film. Holy shit, they did Armor's best.
Yeah, Merlin is absolutely awesome in that movie. Love that. Armor's good. The battles are good, and then the last quarter of that movie's wacky. So come by, hang out with us, talk, and don't miss Loki's Mornings of Mischief, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday.
Yep. And Spencer, Foil Variant is one of my favorite shows to watch you and Andrew go over comics.
Well, thanks, Jonas. Thanks for watching.
I like it a lot. I love tuning into that one.
It's a lot of fun. And if anybody else wants to come hang out with me and Andrew Rodriguez of the Rippaverse every Thursday night at, oh my gosh, what are time zones? 6-7 p.m. Eastern time. Come over to Foil Variant on YouTube, hang out with us while we break down the week's comic news. As always, check out Bounding Into Comics, where we got new news going up every day. You can check out my own channel, Kabuto Studios, and then of course go check out everything everybody has here. Tooneytown TV, go bookmark that Park Place. I know you already did. Go subscribe to Loki. Go subscribe to Jonas, even if he'll never upload another Everything Woke With ever again. And we will see you all next week.
That's right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And Culture's not here to say it himself, but get your game on.